Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hot Seat, your Thursday night addiction. Guys, I'm excited for the show tonight. Oh, I'm excited at every show, but tonight we got Max from Texicana BBQ.
Yo!
All the way from Austin. This guy knows so much about barbecue. So, guys, get your questions in the chat. Get them in there early. We only got so much time, so make sure you ask him. Put it at Daddy Dutch BBQ. And he will ask the questions that you put in there. Guys, this is going to be a good one. Get your learning caps on. We're gonna get some good information tonight. We're going to talk to our guy, Max. Good dude. I watched a ton of his videos, and he's not even a YouTuber. He just like putting out good content, and I want to bring that all to you guys.
What are you laughing at?
Ken's probably laughing at the chat. Oh, you had it on.
My turn.
Yeah. So, all right. So real quick, Max, throughout the week or whatever, we're on our laptops, our iPads, watching YouTube videos like we do. But if we also have it on while we're doing our show. So if we don't mute it, right? If we don't mute our YouTube, it goes on and there's an 8-second delay. So I'll be into my introduction. And then when you introduce it again, it's just a pain in the ass. But we always do it. We always forget. So
Gotcha.
Anyway, so Dutch, why don't you say hi to the people?
Well, welcome everybody. Should be a good show with Max here tonight. We've been talking pre-show a little bit, and he's got quite the history. I think you guys are going to be very interested in it. So, Johnny Maggs, I see you in there. How you doing, brother? One thing I want to throw out there, CJ, our boy Frack Daddy is knocking on the door of 1K. We got to try help him get there.
All right. Well, if one of our moderators would put old Frack Daddy BBQ's link into the chat, I can't imagine you guys aren't all there, but make sure you get there. Ricky's in there from the meat stall. Papa Larry's in the chat. What's up, Larry? Kent, do you want to set the chat price or the super shot price? Chat price. You got to pay to be in the chat tonight.
Yeah, Joe's asked why I'm wearing a girl's shirt. Nice. This is the Cooking Cop and Babe shirt that they sent me. I was not going to wear it last week because CJ and I were not going to be twinning.
Even though we are trying to.
Well, I'll put it back on when Uncle Steve gets here then. How's that? Let's see. Let's do 25 tonight. What the heck?
All right. 25 is the shot price. Kent doesn't want to get messed up tonight. He just wants to chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I got a competition in a day and a half, so I got to be on my best behavior.
Hey, I'm not even working tomorrow. I'm not working.
You're lucky dog. I know where you're going tomorrow. I'm a little jealous.
I was to be chilling.
Same guy who sent me.
What up?
Oh, you got trophy. That's
Make
where
sure
you're
you
going.
send me a picture of it, and I'll show it off tomorrow. All right. A couple people are hitting actually some milestones besides Frag Daddy. Josh and Babe just hit 3,000 subscribers, so congrats, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody else hit? I think Smokin Joe's coming up on 10K on his subscribers. I think we got everybody's growing and growing well, so that's cool. Before we get to Max, let me shout out some more people from the chat. We got, Frag Daddy, Jimmy Q's in there, Josh and Babe, Tom, Keith is in there, as always, keeping score, keeping Bettag. Chef Alex is in the house. See here, Grumpus on fire, Steven and Jacqueline, Smokin Joe, Suburban Barbecue, Julie's in there, Johnny Maggs, you said hi to him already. Sue White is watching on Facebook right now. Canadian Jim, Scotty Two Hotties in the chat. See here, Smoke Show, Anderson Smoke Show. What's up, AA? And Ray from Newcomb Barbecue. What's up, brother? I don't wear masks on my show, but I'm hoping the COVID stays away from my show right here. So, what else we got? I think we caught her. Delena's in there. What's up? Yeah. All right. So, Max,
yo,
say hi to the people and just welcome, man.
What's up, everybody? Quite an honor to be here. Quite an honor. I didn't know about the show. Now I know.
Now you know. All right, cool. All right, we're looking to have a great time tonight. We obviously, Max is coming all the way from Italy. He's got a bit of an accent. We were actually thinking about having Johnny Mags, one of our moderators on the chat. He's from New England. So with your accents going at each other, I don't know that we could have had to put some translations up there, but
subtitles.
Subtitles. There you
Try
go.
to talk slowly as I can.
All right. So Jason, greetings from the UK. He's on Facebook right now. Let's see, Real Joey B's in the chat. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all being here. I think we get ready to dive into this. Max, you ready for these hard-hitting questions?
Hell yeah.
All right, brother. Let's start off with where are you from, where you grew up, where you live, where you reside right now, all that good stuff.
So I'm from Italy, born in the north of Italy. And I grew up in the south. About in 2007, I moved United States, in New York, start cooking, Italian restaurant. And then I moved, after a long story, got passionate about barbecue, and I decided to move in Texas, in Austin, Texas, where I actually still live.
Right on. Very cool. Family life, you got wife, girlfriend, dog, cat, any of that good stuff?
Yeah, I'm Italian, so I have wife, girlfriend, I got all kinds of stuff going on.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
No, I'm divorced and I do have a girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, right on. Very cool. If she's around, she's more than welcome to come on the show and say hi.
I don't think so.
All right. Hey, listen, we always
just not here.
We always invite girls and kids and dogs. If you had a cat, you can throw the cat up there. We don't care.
You gotta keep them happy.
Yep. All right, cool. All right. Talk about, we were talking that you're not a YouTuber. You put the YouTube videos out, but you're more of a consultant. Tell us how you came to be a part of that and doing that.
Yeah, so my very, very first job as a pit master, which I've learned a lot, was from Kirby BBQ, talking about quite a bit ago.
Right.
And so over there, because my native language is Italian, I used to make this little, with my iPhone 4, think about it, how long ago it was. I used to make this little Facebook Live, and in Italy they went crazy because I realized I was the only one doing creating such a content, and I understood from that experience how powerful it was. Am I still there?
You turned sideways and froze up.
All right, hold on. I don't know what's going on. 1 second. All right.
There you go.
All right. Sorry. I think I touched on. So I was saying I understood how powerful it was, Facebook. So I met so many people, and I started enjoying it. Sharing my knowledge and whatever I was doing. It was pretty cool. And then slowly I started making content. Also in English, because just in Italy barbecue is not such a big thing, and I decided, you know what, I know a thing or two, maybe I'll try to share on Facebook. I was very much on Facebook and on Instagram, visually on Instagram. YouTube is something that I post maybe one video a couple of years ago, but in the last few months I really start getting organized more and more on YouTube. So with that being said, I'm not a YouTuber, but it takes, better than me, it takes a lot of time to edit any video or to make some decent content, with very little what we have. So I make my video out of my phone, I edit the best I can, and so it is. So basically, I'm a pit master who, through some content on YouTube, try to do the best I can. I always try to do some twist around, I cover already the main cut of meat, and I have my own way of cooking. So because of Instagram and Facebook, now recently a little bit more YouTube, more and more people start contacting me. And that started back then when I used to work at Franklin Barbecue. Just having giving pit tour to the smokehouse, you meet a lot of people, and people start calling me, why don't you do a class? Oh, I have to open my restaurant and so forth. And I decided to turn this kind of demand into a business. So I found Texicana BBQ, Texicana Barbecue Consulting, which has been keeping me busy from the last couple of years. So I basically go places, I implement menu, or we started from scratch, from the smoker, the sheet tray, the timeline, the scheduling, the food cost, the menu, all 9 yards, you know.
So just straight from start to finish, huh? That's very cool.
Yeah, and it's usually extremely intense. It's usually extremely intense. It's really, sometimes in some places you can find, because my goal is to go there, share my knowledge, create a system, because behind any consistent barbecue business, there's always a very, solid system. Create a system, find somebody who can work, and get out of here, get out of there. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's harder, but that's basically my job.
Right on. All right. Well, this translates really well. Smoky Joe's Pit Barbecue just put a $25 super shot in there. So go ahead. You're telling me you're gonna make a drink for the show. Show us that drink. Me and Dutch will take a shot real quick.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
So we're making let's call it smoky sangria. If you want to make it smoky, what you can do, you can basically put a chill glass into a pit for a minute, and because it's frozen, gonna attract a lot of smoke, and it's gonna be nice and smoky.
Right on.
We got a little bit of orange juice, not too much. Then I'll say a shot of triple sec over here. What else we got? Now, this is important. This is, so if you can see it, guys, it's called Lambrusco, and that's basically the most important ingredient. It's affordable, but not like cheap headache affordable. It's a popular Italian wine, sparkling, tendentially sweet. Here we go. And what I do, I make a puree. I grill peach oranges. I make a puree, and I put in ice cubes. I freeze them, and I put in ice cubes. So they have this char, the smoke, and so forth. And some other, I grill it like that. That is the lemon. And that is cool because you can do a large batch, and then you can basically, you can basically store in the freezer, and they look pretty good. So you have the orange sits in the bottom, the wine stands on top, little splash of ginger ale. I don't add sugar because I'm not a very sugar guy, but you can add sugar. Usually when I cook for event, I'll do it. I put a little bit of sugar, just to make everybody happy. Then this is the Saronno, which best thing to describe is like the Amarello of Italy. Some people put brandy in the sangria. I like to put this. It's just a different touch. That's it.
That stuff right there has gotten me in trouble before. When I was a young buck living on my own with my buddy, we would do Dr. Pepper slammers, where you take a shot of that amaretto, and you drop it in like a Coors Light or a Bud Light, whatever, and drink it, and it tastes exactly like Dr. Pepper.
That's it. That sounds like fun.
That is awesome.
All right, and then basically we have, and it does taste, what I like about it, it does taste smoking, and it does taste grilled, and it does taste. Then you can blend whatever fruit you want in it. You can put strawberry. You can do a lot of stuff. And guys, stay tuned because I'm gonna cook with this sangria. Maybe next video. We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna play around with the sangria. Cheers.
That has to, salute. Cheers, man.
That looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Chef Alex Otesh there said like I would drink that all day long. Me too. See,
yeah, maybe guys, put a half shot of triple sec. I think I make it too strong.
Oh no, well that's all right. All right, we got a couple more people in the chat. Carry on, Jeff and John. John, brother, thank you for being here. See, Kimberly Ziegler. Yeah, I think it said Ziegler is on Facebook right now. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate it.
Sorry, CJ.
Barbecues in there. What's up?
Do you say? Sorry to interrupt. You say John Brotherton?
No, it's John. Carry on, Jeff and John. That's a channel from the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so we got a couple more people in there. See here. Beer Chat Barbecue. Uncle Steve's in the chat. Cooking with Kirby's in there. What's up, buddy? See, Off the Walls Barbecue. Big Cat 305. Miss Booger's in the chat. Brother Alton is in the chat. I think that catches everybody up in there. If I missed you, throw a hand up. I'll catch you on the next go around. We got 45 people in the chat. Oh, Federico's in the chat. What's up, Rico? So we got 45 in there. Who else? All right, we're good. All right, brother. All right, so we have a subscriber, a guest, or someone that has a lifetime question with us. So it's the guy's channel is Mega Fred Zeppelin, and his lifetime question is, what kind of music do you listen to? Do you play any instruments, any bands, any of that stuff?
So I have zero ability of playing with cards, with instrument. Whatever is nice and soft and cool, I cannot do it. So I don't know. I know how to drive a Caterpillar. I know, I've learned how to drive a Caterpillar when I was 12,
Wow.
So, but I'm totally bad in the fine arts. Let's put it that way.
That's all right.
So what music that I like to hear, like heavy metal, like AC/DC, Iron Maiden, all the stuff, especially when I'm working. But when I'm working not with my brain, like example, we're pulling brisket, 100 brisket at a time, or we're wrapping brisket. Then I'll kick heavy metal and stuff like that. Right. I'm not the kind of guy that I can work and listen to some reggae and stuff. It distracts me. So if I have to drive from here, I think a lot. So if I have to drive from here to Houston, probably I would never turn on the radio. Just because I cannot think when I listen to music. Then I start fantasizing about stuff. I'm in a Lululemon. So that's it.
All right, sounds good to me, man. All right, a couple more people jumped in there real quick. I want to say hi to them. We got Mary Luzon in there. Sweet Lou's Barbecues in the chat. Behind the Garage Barbecues in the chat. Spirit in the Sky. And I think that catches everybody up. All right. No one else from Facebook. We got a couple watching on Facebook. Got 48 in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Share this on your social media, especially in the barbecue groups. Let's get some more people in there. Kevin, Comparison Cooking. How you doing, Kevin? Andrew Olson's on Facebook. You guys good? Yeah, we're all good, brother. Thank you for being here. All right. So, real quick. Alton, the Dawgfatha barbecue, put $25 in there for a super shot. So, cheers, brother.
The best.
Take a drink of that sangria. Dude, that stuff right there, man. I would drink that all day long. For sure. LeprakonTV, what's up, Lep? How you doing, brother? All right. So, you were saying that you grew up with the cooking background in Italy and all that, but what drove you to American barbecue? What drove you to want to come to Texas?
So I worked in restaurants in the main course. So the main course in Italy is main carbohydrates base, is main pasta, mainly. Now the second course is like meat and so forth. And I was always grilling and doing those kind of this kind of line, in prepping and cooking and so forth. So I get passionate about meat. I really liked it.
Right.
And I also am very passionate about baking, which I think that has a lot of similarities with a pit master. So a pit master is more likely a baker than a chef, if you think about it, you know. So it's a lot of muscle. You stay up at night, you sweat, and all kind of stuff. And that brought me to the meat world. Now in Italy, we have a very different kind of meat, and I was very interested about this barbecue, you know. But back then, really was zero barbecue in Italy. And I said, you know what? I would like to experience that. So I did my cooking academy. I'm talking about still when I was 23. So I'm 36 right now.
Okay.
I did the cooking school, very fancy cooking school. And I said, you know what? You know, high-end restaurant is cool, but I don't think it's for me. And I like being over there with all the tweezers and stuff. I like to cook meat and so forth. And then I decided to move, you know, like I said, in New York. Work in a restaurant, still cooking meat, and I would was watching the video, you know, back then with Franklin Barbecue and so forth. I say, you know what, I want to go in Texas. So in Texas, because, you know, I had to support myself, you know, my family wasn't here, and I was a chef. I applied to the Four Seasons in Austin. They kind of hired me. They want an interview. I went for the interview. They took them quite a bit to hire me. So I took, you know, they have to do all the analysis and so forth. So what I did, I was just wandering the city, and I want to go to Franklin, and somehow it was a destiny. There was no line of Franklin. I just walk over there, and basically I tried the brisket, and that's it. I felt in love and said, no, I gotta find out how to cook this. And so I shoot a bunch of resumes. Of course, I shoot to Franklin. They didn't care, but nobody cared. But this guy, Bill Curlin, he was in need. He really needs somebody to work there. And I said, let's give it a shot. And also, Bill, he likes international people and so forth. So that probably helped, you know. And everything started from there.
All right, cool. What did they look at your resume, see your fine culinary background, and think that would translate to barbecue?
So we through the years, I become a good friend of Mark from Terry's Black. And I said, Mark, this after 5 or 7 years, I send you a resume. Can you please find this resume? So my resume for barbecue was me with the white jacket, with the chef hat, all nice, clean, and stuff like. Who gonna hire me like that? You know, it was so hilarious. It was so like, so that's probably why nobody hired me. You know, because in Italy and Europe, you gotta look fancy. You know, if you want to be hired. I didn't know that the whole pitmaster background and so forth. You know.
Right on. I don't know if this is a question that's been asked already yet, but how do you impart your style on barbecue? Now, I'm sure each place had their own kind of way they wanted you to start out doing, but are you able to impart your vision or your thoughts or your energy, creativeness, whatever?
Well, see, that's there is that what helped me out a lot is just because through my path in learning, I was never stuck in Texas. That's it. So I always traveled in Italy. I have a great connection in Brazil. I went to the churrascada. The churrascada, I cooked 260 beef tongue. Never cooked so many beef tongue in my life. So I always was very influenced by all these different kind of styles. So the Argentinian and South American kind of style, they take the entire animal, the entire steer, in a complete different way. There is the vastilla, salud de tira, and so forth. So that always, in my subconscious mind, was always around. And I was very passionate. So that's how I ended up to the churrascada.
Okay.
Now, when you're doing a consulting, number one, you got to be practical. The number one mistake the new restaurant do, they think they're special. They think they make the burger like no one else. They think they make their brisket like no one else. Right. I don't give a shit. The recipe, you can watch YouTube. I can set my mind. I want to know how to make chicken karaage perfect. And nowadays you can. So the recipe, the style of cooking, it really doesn't, I don't really care. It's my last problem. What's the most important thing that I'm really focused on is to create a system that makes sense, a sustainable system. So the restaurant, it could be consistent. Then the recipe you can twist here and there. I think is way way overrated. Now, I can make you, I'm not a bartender. Make this drink, tastes pretty good.
Right.
I'm here, sitting on a chair, nice air conditioning in my house. Now, you put me to do this 1,000 drink in an hour, I'll be lost. You know, that's just not my field. Now, my job is, I'll teach you how to make a good badass brisket at that level, you know. So when you are an example in these very busy places, slicing brisket and so forth, in fraction of second, and also as a cook, when you're pulling brisket, you cannot stay over there with a brisket and you touch it, you grab it, you know. When you're pulling 200 brisket, you gotta go, you know. I remember at Franklin, we had a timeline 1 hour just to pull brisket. So the system is very important. So it's I think it's vital. So that's it's my main. I wanna export that, and then depending the style and what, you know, the owner, the vision of the owner will work on it, on the recipe. But the taste, really, the recipe itself is the last thing that I'm worried about.
Do they fight you on that when they have this big vision?
Big time. And the worst are the backyard guy who want to open a barbecue restaurant. He spoke with their neighbor. Hey, it's a great idea. You know, let's open a restaurant. Why not? Oh, you make the best ribs in the world. But then the restaurant is a different game. You know, it's just you gotta make a lot of sense. So for me, it does not. If one ingredient is not in 2 or 3 other dishes, I try to avoid it. You know, and so forth. So that's the main thing. But they learn pretty quick. You know, they learn pretty quick. I you know, with experience, I try to keep my cool and say, okay, let's do the way you want it. But after a couple of months, we all end up there. You know, too stuff there, too elaborated. In a menu item, gotta have these 3 features. It has to be affordable, it has to be good, and it gotta make sense. So if it doesn't have these 3, so to me, import the post hoc from Texas. If I'm doing a barbecue in Italy, it might be cool, but it doesn't make sense, you know.
Right.
And so forth. So it's common sense, but sometimes people, they're so wrapped up, and I understand, I'm very empathic about it. People keep dreaming about their idea that they have of success, of their big ego, to satisfy the big ego. But ego and business, they don't speak the same language.
No.
So you gotta do a good job, you know, put something interesting, but you have to make a hell of a lot of sense to succeed in nowadays, which is competition is just in restaurants, it's unbelievable, you know.
All right, cool. Before I send you over to Dutch, he's got a ton of questions. They're asking questions in the chat like crazy. We got the professors in there, Long's Quest is in there. What's up, guys? James from Aim and Claim of Smokers. What's up, barbecue freaks and YouTube peeps? Appreciate you being here, brother. Dutch, are you ready with your questions, man?
Yeah, I got one.
Just one? Really?
Just one.
All right, let them have it.
All right. Now it's time for the fun stuff instead of the boring stuff, Max.
I even changed them up a little bit. What the hell?
It's just you, I guess. I'm sorry, CJ.
It's just me. I'm boring. Great. Thanks.
That's it.
Now we know after all these years.
All right. I'm going to ask this one because it's on the screen right now. And it's too goddamn long to write down.
All right.
It comes from this little struggling channel by the name of the Dawgfatha's BBQ, who has
poor
had
guy.
zero growth recently.
Sorry for the guy.
Okay, he says, ask Max to talk about the whole hog cook this past weekend and what was his favorite part of the bash at Brett's backyard.
All right, so I just happened that I just published this video, literally a minute before I hook up with you guys. Yeah. So hold on a second.
Oh, it's a good sign I hear stuff clicking in the fridge.
All right, to answer, I have a little present. So
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome, man.
I still got this. So yeah, we cooked this hog, and and he was there with friends, and it was a cool day. I always like to hang out with barbecue people. So Brett McKenzie is the owner of this place in Rockdale, Texas. Badass barbecue, very good. Not too far from Snow's Barbecue, where it's Tootsie, Clay, and so forth. And he just was his birthday, and he decided to do a hog. Mike Flores from Flores Tortilla, which previous was Flores Barbecue. Now he just focused in tortilla, badass tortilla. They're tallow smoked tortilla. And they decided, okay, let's cook a hog. And they did this kind of sort of Tex-Mex, and I was hanging out with them. We made this kind of Tex-Mex sort of lechon flavored whole hog, which is quite different. We went hard, and then I make the grilled sangria also. It was a very fun day. But yeah, the taco with tortilla, and I think that Alton, he made a video about it, about making a tortilla with Flores tortilla. But they're good stuff. They're so moist because of the tallow and stuff. Very good.
Very cool, man.
All right. I love the little hog head. That's awesome. Considering I have one of them coming up here shortly too. We're doing a whole hog for the boys at the shop. So
that was complete. I never done a whole hog like that. There was a different way. So we started very, very high. We put a bunch of coals in a pit. And we let it ride all night, and then we did the achote mob sauce and fresh tortilla and so forth. So a very interesting flavor profile. The achote is this Mexican paste. It's like chili paste,
right,
which is not as spicy. It's very extremely savory. I was surprised. I use that usually on my rib glaze to make it red. Red is almost a natural coloring food.
Right.
So there is the Brazilian version is like completely unflavored. The Mexican version has a little bit of spice in it and it's savory. I like it better. So when I do the glaze for my ribs, I put a little bit of achote, simple syrup, achote. Very nice. They look red as a Ferrari.
That sounds real good. Nice, simple, clean, and easy, right?
That's it.
All right. Smokin' Joe's Pit BBQ wants to know, Max, you ever plan on opening up your own barbecue joint?
I don't know. Because I see a lot of people starting this business, they struggle from the beginning. I'm a little bit scared, If you ask a lot of people that have a barbecue already, say, "Nah, I will never done it again." It's just so much. I'm doing good with consulting right now. What I really, really like, and I think that is real my nature. I would love to open like Snow's Barbecue one time a week, like a destination place to open barbecue. And I'm really into baking, making cheese, charcuterie. I'm gonna come up with a shitload of video about charcuterie, Italian charcuterie, which is very, very interesting. So what I like to create a product that, yes, a product that you can ship. Like an example, to give you again the example from Mike from Flores Tortilla. He's a barbecue guy, he's a badass barbecue guy, and he decided to switch to making tortilla. He sell a bag of tortilla for $10. And the margins are much higher than. This is a lot of work, of course, but the margins are much higher. With barbecue, you are just as good as your next brisket, and that on the long run it start hurting. So, and I'm totally conscious of that because I've seen a lot, and I've seen a pit master older than me, and that's it. I think it's more my nature. I like to move logistically, like to create a product branded as Texicana BBQ. And I grew up in a farm, and I really miss that every time. So I'm actually working on it, buying a piece of land, and I would say barbecue will be probably at 20% of my business, but through the week I will be doing my farming things, making cheese, And I also like blending. Now, if you look at the logo of my T-shirt, there is Italy and Texas, which geographically they match. You know, blending these two things together. You know, and
That's
Texas
cool,
people are just great. But yeah, that's basically my dream. A farm with a barbecue on the side, not the other way around.
There you go. That'll work. All right. Since you did just mention brisket, Alton wants to know when you're going to come teach him how to cook brisket the right way.
I thought he was the foremost authority on brisket for beginners.
Well, it sure seems like it. So,
That's
all
it.
right.
Listen, I'm learning every day.
Yep.
There you go. The day you quit learning is the day you fail.
That's it. Especially now, sorry to interrupt you, but especially now, it's crazy. Everybody's come up with a new way, a new strategy. Before it was just hot and fast. That's why I went to Cooper's to work, because they were known for the hot and fast kind of method of cooking it. But nowadays, people doing fogs and people don't wrap at all. It's interesting. I'm a kind of guy, I'm very bad in recipe because I do experiment a lot. You know, I always twisting and bending, the poor recipe that I have in many ways. And I think that, sometimes you find just interesting, an interesting word around that.
All right. Now I forgot where I was at. I was going to ask him a question. I forgot. Damn it, Max. All right.
Talk too much.
No, you're fine. Let's ask Jim here from Suburban Barbecue. He wants to know, what's your favorite barbecue joint to eat at in Texas?
Favorite barbecue joint? That's a very hard question. I can tell you my favorite brisket. My favorite brisket, it was from Ernie Robbins, Evie Mays barbecue in Lubbock. So one time I was helping out, was at the Red Dirt event, and I was helping out, I think his nose, talking about a few years ago. And he approached me and said, try this slice of brisket, it's the most brisket. And I showered the slice in my mouth, and that was the best brisket I ever had. With that being said, maybe the situation, I don't know, but it was extremely good. With that being said, it's very hard to, the level of brisket, and it's just so much. And also for a barbecue guy, it's unfair, because of course they know that you're into barbecue, they're gonna make a nice tray and so forth, yeah. But I'm not a very picky guy at all. You're never gonna hear me out, that's bad, that's good, that's bad. Different place. I think Texas Montreal does a good job, generally speaking, of describing what the good places are, and of course there are many more good places, but I think they're pretty damn good. Most of it they're very good. I do not eat much barbecue myself. It's very rare for me to go and order barbecue just because I'm always around it. So I don't sit and eat barbecue. But let's say when a friend of mine want to come over, I'll go to Curlin Barbecue. I'll go to John Brotherton, Black Iron, and Liberty Barbecue. They cook a little bit different. They don't cook with offset smoker. They cook. It's a little bit of mix of Moberg smoker, so offset smoker, and Bewley's, very interesting smoker, cabinet smoker. Style and Switch is pretty good. But yeah, and I don't like to wait too much. So for me, going to Franklin is a no-no, just because I don't like to wait. Maybe I'll sneak around in the back, talk with my, with my body.
They'll walk right through everybody, get in there.
They're very strict, and I agree with that. They're very strict because, people wait for hours and hours and hours. There is a way, maybe you can get away with it, but it's really, you can't really do it. But,
All right. Let's see. Jared from Frack Daddy wants to know, and I'm pretty sure I got the answer to this already, but what is your favorite protein to smoke? Well,
brisket is probably the most, is still to nowadays is still like a surprise. So I think I've learned a lot. The most let's say time that I've learned cooking barbecue was when I was a cook and a cutter at the same time. So it was a terrible shift because I will finish smoking the meat at 3 in the morning, and at 6 o'clock you already go there to clean the line and cut and so forth. But it's still a surprise. It's still brisket. There's still this magic around it. There's still a surprise. Very fun to cook is ribs. I love cooking ribs. Getting wild with different glaze and stuff. I love cooking. It's very fun. It's a quick cook. It's very fun. Brisket is serious, it's serious cook. But yeah, I like to cook ribs a lot. To reply to your question, I like to cook ribs a lot, and I like to cook also generally speaking all kinds of cut, like grilling, hanging the meat like Latin American style. Very, very cool. And now we're seeing that these two things they're blending in Texas, which is something that I just love it. There is Mill Scale, there is Backline Smoker and Moberg and all these people. You see more and more grill into the indirect world, to the offset smoker world, which is just phenomenal. Really, that's what brought me to in Latin America the churrascada to begin with.
All right, so Kid, before you ask the next one, there's been some. Thank you. There's been some comments about can you grill ribs?
Don't get into that. Jesus.
Like on your Argentine style grill or Santa Maria style grill, can you grill ribs or do they have to be smoked?
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem that it always happens. What the meat that they have over there is completely different than the meat we have over here. Same Angus, it's different things. It's just different. So they take in consideration for us what's important is to be tender. Everything gotta be tender. They do not give a shit about tenderness. They care about the meat. So if you look at an asador in Latin America, he looks like a gladiator. He has this, his leather apron and stuff. They're tough. They're grabbing this piece of meat. They're doing it. They chew the meat like that. So that's for them is the meat. Salt, very simple. Colombia, Argentina, Brazil is a crazy. But the meat to them is not tender. Just not. So to them, for us is very tough and raw. For them is good. Wow. That's the thing. You can do something in between. You can cook them and grill them. That's for sure. But
I have done them Santa Maria style, and I got them not fall off the bone, but I wasn't like tearing at it either.
No, yeah, you can.
How long you want to cook them? It's just like anything else.
Yeah, for sure. You're not gonna have in half an hour. I would say, why don't you wanna? Why can't you wrap in foil and give it a minute? Why? Right. I don't like to be hardcore. You mix both technique and.
Well, I think it's Brother Alton that's started that controversy. So we're gonna see what Dawgfatha has to say about that. All right, Kent, go ahead, keep asking your questions, buddy.
All right, yeah, I knew where you're going with that. That's the great debate between Alton and the Dash. Yeah. All right. Smoking Joe wants to know Texicana. How'd you come up with the channel name?
So one time I was walking in Austin, and I saw Cocina was probably a Spanish restaurant, something. Cocina Texicana, and Texicana it could mean Italian, Italiana, Colombiana, Australiana, so it could be anything. So I like this Texicana. It sounds good to me. And I just kept it.
There you go.
There you have it, Smoking Joe. All right. Bushy Bato wants to know, what was your favorite barbecue joint to work at and learn from?
I like all of them. Probably Franklin was one of the one that I had the most fun. and the most like human relation with people. I'm still friend with all of them. The people I have their phone number and so forth. So because on a high and a very intense work environment, or when you go through a lot of intense emotion because you're busy or because whatever, you tend to create very good friendship, you know. So that was, for me, was a very good time. And doing that volume and feeling comfortable and make you feel good every day, you know. And really, people, they go to Franklin, they love it there. There is something about the place they're just unbelievable. People will show up earlier than me in line, you know. So there was there. Yeah, I have, you know, there's something about barbecue that we are all pretty good. There is competition, but it's good. We all hang out. We don't hate each other. And I don't talk anymore about in terms of restaurant. I know, you know, bunch of people, if not all the people in the restaurant business, at least in the Texas area, somehow we're connected. We knew each other and so forth. So I like that. I like that kind of creating events and sharing knowledge and so forth. Then, now we're going in Monterey to do an event, me and a bunch of other people from different, from different barbecue in Texas, and that is fun. They creates a lot of interesting things going on. I just like the kind of sharing part of barbecue. I'm really all about that, you know.
Right on. Sorry, I had to respond to Alton real quick. All right. Speaking of Alton, two things he wants to know. He says, when are you and him going to be able to cook together? And
Alton.
With Alton, the Dawgfatha.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it is which smoker, Moberg or Backline?
So I know Moberg for a very long time. You know, since almost my beginning. I will say halfway there. It's a long time I don't see the guy. Long time I see. I just saw Brian from Backline 2 days ago. I miss Sonny. Yeah, let's do a Moberg. I miss him. We gotta go to Sonny.
Okay. I don't, honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with either pit.
Yeah. That for sure. And about when, you know what I'm interested in? To do like a difference. I got a pit barrel over here. Just send me a pit barrel. Is that bit that I never made, like the difference about a badass offset smoker like Moberg Backline and a pit barrel. You know, let's say cook a brisket. What's the difference? You know, think it would be very interesting.
Yeah.
How they're gonna turn out, you know? That could be.
Yeah, the barrels come in. I mean, they're just so damn efficient, you know?
Yeah.
And they create a nice moist environment too. So.
Yeah.
All right. Our moderator scorekeeper Keith Bettag wants to know, what was your favorite Italian dish growing up?
My favorite Italian dish, so this is, in Italy we have, there's a lot of variety of vegetables. It seems weird, but in September, the 8th of September, if I'm not mistaken, there is this feast about a saint, about the Virgin Mary, which goes by millions name over there. Now, there's that important, the food over there. So the saint is connected with the vegetables, which is an eggplant. So Virgin Mary, they do everything, and then there is a big fest, and they cook eggplant, they fry eggplant. So eggplants, I always like eggplant. And the dish that I particularly like is the Parmigiana di Melanzane, like a Parmigiana.
All right. Well, we lost Kent real quick. I think you had to step aside right quick. So I'm going to jump in and take him or ask a couple more questions. We got a couple more people in the chat. We got the professor, Chef Johnny's in the chat. Bruce is in there. Yes, it's Mario is in there. What's up, guys? Thank you all for being here. I started a watch party on my Facebook group, so we got about 5-6 people watching on there. Let's see here. All right, so Miss Booger just asked a question. Do you know the cooking channel Vincenzo's Plate? Vincenzo's Plate? Have you heard of that one?
Say again, sir. I couldn't hear you.
Have you heard of the channel Vincenzo's Plate?
Vincenzo's Plate, probably. It's not new to me. Sounds Italian though.
It's been around a long time. I just don't know why I can't fucking spit it out. So
Vincenzo.
All right, cool. All right, so I was actually watching that whole hog video before you jumped on too, and obviously I turned it off. But I saw you were kind of throwing out books, in the kind of the beginning. How much reading and studying and learning are you still doing right now? Okay.
There's that.
Holy moly.
Then I have a bunch of. There's the main one.
Right on.
So this is Gualtiero Marchesi, which is the father of Italian cuisine, and is a reference for. It's basically a reference for the very basic cuisine, the fundamentals. How to do stuff right. And I think what's a lot of people they don't have is the very solid basics, which I don't have either, because struggling is still learning with the punch. But I try to to keep the pace as much as I can. So once you have the strong fundamentals, example pit master, once you understand of a little bit of thermodynamic and how the heat works, then you don't need recipe anymore, and you can experiment, get creative, and things start becoming interesting. That's why, back to whatever we were telling before about the recipe, about this, about that, I do not care, because I'm confident that I'll figure it out, because previous experience and so forth. So I'm not worried to the flavor profile, because Gualtiero Marchesi was one of the greatest chefs, the one who elevated Italian cuisine. Right now, the best restaurant in the world, according to Michelin star, is Osteria Francescana in Modena. So, Bottura. So he was saying that the chef, the cook, whatever, is an intuitive alchemist. You're not a scientist. You're an intuitive alchemist. So you're mixing shit, you're throwing shit at the wall, but you're knowing what you're doing, and you come up with stuff. So I really believe in that. Like improvisation, but with knowledge. I run with that. And,
so like simplify it. Steak and lobster taste good alone, but you gotta find a way to make them work together. You have that knowledge. You're gonna
there's also a whole science of flavor, and there are books about flavor profile, how to what goes. A fish always gonna go well with cauliflower and so forth. Now the problem is that the chef, and I know I don't call myself a chef. I don't like even the word of pit master. I'm just a guy who make a living cooking.
Right.
They have a very big ego. They do stuff because they want to be loved at the end of the day. Right. And that's what put them in trouble. You've ever seen a lot of chefs that they're great chef, but they don't make sense. They could spend $1,000 for a dish just because they need to feed their big ego, And then as soon as the success, they thought they're hot shit and so forth. So I'm very interested and curious about how different things work, putting them together. And I'm kind of a little bit also, I will say, knowledge bipolar. There is moments that I study a lot, and moments that I just need to think with my subconscious mind, and I don't touch a book. I don't even watch a cooking channel, nothing.
Right.
I'm very much into that. So what happened before barbecue, I was very much involved with the ice cream, making gelato, making pizza. was a pizza maker, you know,
Right,
and
right.
cooking and so forth. So I got very much into it, and I like to get the bottom of what's going on. And what's interesting with barbecue, it really never ends because there's always stuff going on. But knowledge is basically it can free from a lot of stuff, you know. So you have that. Yeah, it's very powerful because you know you watch a YouTube channel and you're able to say, oh, the guy's full of shit, or the guy is legit, you know.
Right.
Otherwise, another guy more convincing and more cooler than me will convince you the opposite, you know.
Right.
So that's why knowledge is important, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny as you're talking about the contradiction. Like someone says this or that, but Harry Sue has a famous like kind of quote when he's talking about. He's like, I do this way, my brisket this way. Someone else does it the other way. It's a 3-hour fight and argument about it, but in the end, you're going to end up enjoying what you're eating, basically. So there's no need to like bitch and moan about it or fight about it. So
yeah,
more people in there. Cypress Blue, Laura, how you doing? See Thomas from Michigan, how you guys doing? Appreciate you being here. We got a couple people watching in Facebook right now too, so hello to everybody on Facebook. Guys, make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. I got one more question. We'll send it back to Dutch. Is there a pit master that you still haven't had a chance to work with that you want to work with and learn from?
Yeah, probably Rodney Scott.
Okay.
Whole guy.
Yeah,
one of them. Another interesting guy that I love it is Elliot Moss from Braxton Hall in Asheville.
Right.
I know him very well. You know, we did a couple of events together, and I was around. And there will be a great place to learn. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna send my resume to Louis Mueller. Is looking. By the way, Louis Mueller is looking for Wayne Mueller at Louis Mueller in Taylor, Texas. Is looking for people to work. A bunch of people. There is I can't remember now, staff manager, pit master, cashier, front of the house, back of the house, all kind of stuff. So if you guys want to do a badass experience with Louis, which Louis is probably by far the most famous and the most approachable guy on the face of the earth. I respect him so much, and he gave me this quote that you know, barbecue is a marathon and treated as such, and it's very true. You know, you cannot be the hottest guy in town all the time. You gotta be focused, do your stuff, learning, you know, and you move forward. But and I think it's an advice that it's true for anything you do, you know, really like.
Right. Well, when we were out, I told you we were out in Austin, Alton, and I think Suburban Gym's in there too. We got to talk with Wayne. He took us on a tour of everything. And into the bag, saw all his pits, all that stuff. He didn't have to do that for us, but he really did. He let us, you know, film in there the whole time. I actually did a video on it, you know, just at that time there. Dude, there's not too many nicer guys out there that are willing to just open up the back of the house. He fed us like we were family. It was just such a great experience to be there. So.
Yeah, so Louis is like this kind of guy that, you know, he totally doesn't have to do. So that's why I think they do more than cooking. So what's going on at Snow's Barbecue? Now, because of COVID, they're not open. But we were just together at Brett's Barbecue when we cooked the hog. So what's going on at Snow's Barbecue? What happened every Saturday in there, that is more than barbecue. That is more than food itself. I go there every Saturday as long when I'm around. In Austin, I don't even eat. I maybe grab a chicken, you know. It's just what's going on. There are good vibes and stuff going on. And I think people like John Brotherton from Black Iron and Liberty Barbecue, Louis Mueller, Wayne Mueller, and Kirby from Snows and Clay from Snows and all these people, they are keeping this alive. And then it's also business and everything, but they're the very soul and what's important in things. Beside the bullshit, that's really what's make barbecue special. It's not just from food becomes an art for them. From art form, it becomes social relation, and I truly believe in that. Every time that I'm 3 a.m, I'm pulling brisket and I'm replying to a message, I know to that message to that guy is important. I'm really proud of what I've learned, and with respectfully in Texas is not my house. I've been living here from a very long time now, more than 10 years, or almost 10 years. But I took that tradition and try to, to pass on as the best I can. I'm very respectful of that.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Kent, you're up next, but I wanted to tell you we're at an hour. I told you that. I told you it just flies by. One more thing, and I'm sure Kent won't mind, but we want to congratulate Miss Booger. She became an American citizen today. So, congrats. Cheers.
Congrats.
I'll take a free shot for you. Cheers to you, Miss Bugs.
Cheers.
Hey, for Booger, I'm taking one to the head.
Oh, goodness. Get there.
Congrats, Miss Bugs.
Yeah.
Love you, dear.
Yeah, we're so proud of you. That's awesome. We're going to make her cry. I can see it. So,
she'll just tell me to shut up.
Yeah, shut up. So, that's great. I mean, to me, you were always American with just a little bit of Canadian attitude, but
And she talks a little funny.
She talks funny sometimes, but that's all right. All right, Dutch, why don't you go ahead and take over a couple of questions?
All right. Sorry about that. I had some friends stop by that were I need to go outside and talk to. So life happened. So, all right. Where are we at?
An hour.
Mike from Big Cat 305, as CJ's doing his shoulder rolls back there. He was wanting to know, Max, what part of Italy are you from?
Was born very close to Milan, and I grew up in Calabria, which is right in front of Sicily. It's the very end of Italy. Beautiful over there.
I would, my dad and stepmom have been there a couple times. I've yet to make it over there, but I would.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you guys want to hang out in Italy in general, I'm throwing out there, I do have like 8 holiday rentals, I guess they're called. I rent this apartment in August. So in August is a big season in Italy for holiday. So we rent in the summer. We're very close to the Ionian Sea. And I do a lot of barbecue hangouts over there with my Italian friends. I'm trying to work. I'm very good friends with Clay from Snow's Barbecue and all these people. I'm trying to bring them over there.
That'd be.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take you up on it, man. Because
honestly, I'm serious because it's totally doable, and also something that maybe people will be interested. The south of Italy, if you know what you're doing, is less organized than the north. It's not like Rome, Firenze, and stuff like that, but it's much cheaper.
Right. Okay.
But it's not, it's like there are no tour or too many resorts. You just gotta go in somebody else gonna rent an apartment, and you go to the public beach and stuff like that. So I think it's very cool, but it's quite unknown, especially for Americans. You just don't go in Calabria to do what? Maybe deep down you go to Naples, Sorrento, Costiera Amalfitana. That's all you do. But Calabria is pretty cool, just because it's a little bit, I would say, less touristy area, but beautiful.
Well, I tell you what, if you were talking about the seafood down there before we got started, to me that just sounds spectacular.
Seafood is something that I miss every damn day. No matter, I have this, I have that, yeah, whatever, bro. You didn't try the good seafood,
Right on, man. All right, a couple more people jumped in. We got BZ Cooks. What's up, Mike? I'll be seeing you in the morning, really early. Todd from Dad Incredible. What's up, brother? They're saying happy anniversary in the chat, so happy anniversary. Good job. All right. Kent, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Jim from Suburban Barbecue wants to know, how often do you get down to Houston, and where do you eat while you're there?
Actually, a lot. I have a very good friend with Brothers Barbecue, with James from Reveille Barbecue, and now it goes by the BBQ Savage. Blood Brothers is great. Tejas, I think, is great. They're pulling some delicious food. Corkscrew Barbecue, also over there in Houston. Yeah, they're all great place. Daddy Duncan, good friend, also is by the winery over there. ER, I think winery is called, something like that. They're all very, very, very good place. Truth Barbecue, you know. I just don't go to eat. I just hang out and see what happens, you know.
Nice.
I've always been told that, you know, there's no such thing as bad barbecue. It's just a lot are better than others, unless it's from California, then it sucks. That's
I agree with that.
Hey, so both of you, Southern California barbecues are real things.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Actually, I think I'm coming to do a consulting probably in a month or two over there in California. Can't remember where though.
Well, when you find out, let me know. If you're close to me, I'll come find you. I'll pick you up from the airport. I don't care. Let's go.
Awesome. That's it.
All right. Joey B, yes, CJ did send the money to Janet, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yep, she did thank us. We really haven't heard anything, at least I haven't lately, from Jeff, but I'm sure I
can't believe that's a fucking question, though.
Well, no, he was asking earlier if anybody had heard her and stuff like that. So it's a follow-up. It's not questioning anything.
I don't want people like accusing me of like.
No, not at all. So, sorry, Julie. I'd like to put it in the chat.
She's a Cali girl, atta girl. That's what we need.
All right. Jared from Frat Daddy wants to know, Max, do you have a custom-made pizza oven?
Wow, that's impressive. So it read my mind. I do have a normal oven, which I don't have it right now, like a small portable one, where I mess around. We're working actually with a good friend of mine to make like a pizza oven. So what happened? A very important item in the pizza oven is the stone at the bottom and around it. So it absorbs the heat. They're particular stone. They're not very easy to find, but they gotta be thick, like the pizza stone, right? But it's much thicker. So a good oven gotta have that. And we're talking how we're gonna replicate that, you know. And we're working on it. But they're probably gonna be in the near future, I think next week or two, lots of content about baking and mixing with barbecue and those sort of stuff. I just love baking. I really like it. It's a very similar pace to barbecue, you know. I like it.
Right on.
Yeah.
But pizza oven, sorry to interrupt you. Pizza oven like pit smoker. Good quality is great, but there is no rock science, you know. You gotta follow a few items. That's about it, you know.
All right. Speaking of Cali girls, Julie wants to know, what is your favorite wine you use to marinate with for like beef or chicken or fish, something like that? What's your favorite wine to marinate?
I don't like marinade in general. The only thing when I'm grilling, I'm marinating. When I'm smoking, I do not marinate nothing. So a good wine, an example, lamb. I always marinate lamb. Wild, you know, animal and stuff like that. I always like to marinate. I would say a cheap Chianti. Chianti is good. Like it's not too much of a full body and so forth. Like for example, if I have to marinate Boar is a big thing in Italy. Wild pigs and stuff like that. Then you want something Amarone. You want something very strong, almost very tanninic to cover the taste. But yeah. So
Right on.
All
I'm very
right.
picky about wine.
All right. Grumpus on Fire wants to know, speaking of the pizza oven, is fire brick on the pizza oven floor? Is that not good? Or do you need
it's
that?
good. It's good.
That's
It's
what you
good.
want,
Well, usually what you want to have a flat surface if it's possible. Now they're making this Ferrari oven that the flat top it really it goes up. It's like you have the rack on your pit that goes up and follow the heat, and you can manage. Think about if you're cooking brisket and you have the rack that it moves up and down into the pit. How cool gonna be that? You know, you want to do increased temperature with the same amount of wood. You can take advantage of that. But yeah, usually what they have, they absorb. The stone has to be thick and the brick they have to be thick, very good quality to absorb a lot of heat. And then they're going to release it. So a good way, a very good oven, let's say if you blast with a blower for a few minutes, they're going to retain all the heat in there and you can keep cooking without fire. That is a hell of an oven, ideally what you want from it. To make a small version of it is not easy. But yeah, it's possible.
All right. CJ, we got a new guy in the chat here that Frack Daddy sent over. Channel name is Grillin' Dinner.
Grillin' Dinner. Throw your name in there, bud.
Yep, throw your first name in there for us if you would, please. I saw him on Frack Daddy's video earlier. So,
well, welcome, man. That's great. Make sure if you want to get involved in this. Randy's in there. What's up, Randy? Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Jared, thank you for sending them our way. We do this every Thursday night. Have a lot of great guests like Max on. How many more questions you got, bud?
Let's see. I asked that one. About 4 or 5.
All right, knock them out, dude.
All right. Smokin' Joe wants to know if he opens his barbecue joint in El Paso, you want to come help him and show him the ropes? I know Joe needs a lot of help. So,
for sure, you got 20% discount, Joe. See, next,
he says. All right, Jeff from Dead Broke Barbecue wants to know what is
what's up?
What is your favorite type of smoker?
My favorite type. Depends how tired I am. So I really enjoy JNR Oilers at night when you can have a sleep in between, because in consulting what happened, you really got to stay up 24 hours. So while you're not cooking, you're training somebody to cook. And it's very bad, because you're training someone or you're cooking, and also you got to show that they're paying a lot of money, that you got to show what you're doing. So I really enjoy those maybe 2-3 hours a night. Then you can put something in a generator. Usually my setup when I start barbecue places is like an offset smoker for brisket. I'm a believer the brisket comes very good in offset smoker, and I like to keep it that way. There are also different places, but if you want to do numbers, offset smoker on brisket, they help you a lot. Let's put it that way. And then is rather a JNR, but now I discovered also the Bewleys. They're also cabinet smoker, and I smoke all the other protein, ribs, chicken, and so forth on the Bewleys. So it's like a wife and a girlfriend. You love one, but you have fun with the other. It's like dual kind of. It's very hard to say.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's it. Sorry.
Oh my God, that's a
Listen,
first.
I can do this. If I show you my YouTube right now, I got 99.9% of the people are men. So I don't even care. The only one is probably my mother watching me.
That was awesome.
There you
Best
go.
answer ever, right there. I'm sorry. That one goes in the book.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Big Cat 305. Mike wants to know, Max, do you know Chef Pasquale?
I need the last name. I don't know. I know a lot of Pasquale and a lot of chef.
Probably not, dude.
Probably not. Maybe. Who knows?
CJ, Bethany did not like that answer.
Not awesome, babe. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bethany. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
We might lose followers to fight on what we believe.
I'm guessing Mrs. CJ is lurking in the chat.
Oh, I'm sure she's out there somewhere.
That's awesome.
Charcoal Charger, what's up, guys? I'm trying to say hi to people in the chat as they come in, but we got some stuff going on out there. Max is just being honest.
That's
go for it, bud.
all right. Chillin' Grillin' with Rob D. Do you like? Where'd it go? Max, do you like tacos? God, I suck at Spanish. Tacos de lenguas?
Tacos de lenguas.
Hey,
I like,
right.
I like and I'm probably going to upset someone. So the love about the taco is something very peculiar Mexican and American. So stuff like that. In Italy, we don't have such a culture of a taco, neither burgers. You know, maybe younger generation with all this big chain and stuff, they're getting very much involved. Honestly, as a cook, it doesn't really turn me on to cook a taco. You know, it's okay. It's an assembly. It's relatively simple. You know, you have your taco, you have your thing. They're delicious. Don't get me wrong. But the lengua, I love the lengua and all the Latin American meat in general. So we have the same in Italian. It's called lingua salmistrata. There's also a video on YouTube, which I'm very proud of the video. Nobody gave a shit. When I was making, but it just happens. Sometimes you threw some content out there thinking, all right, I gotta need to post something that is a hit. And sometimes, you know, nobody cares. But I think the video is very cool. I'm very proud of it. So how to smoke a beef tongue, how to cure, inject, and smoke the beef tongue, which you're gonna increase your time of, you're gonna decrease actually, the time of your brine. And about you can have a brisket in a couple of days, one day. I made this video one day pastrami. It's really two, but and also with the tongue. So if you cure the tongue, you smoke it right. But it's a very delicate piece of meat. There is not such a muscle in the animal like the tongue. It's a very unique piece of meat. You gotta know if you know what you're doing. And it was an old recipe from my grandmother, lingua salmistrata, in the butcher shop. They almost taste like roast beef, you know, when you slice it clean. And it's very much the same recipe that I have over there, very similar. But yeah, I love lengua and everything is about. I think that people only don't like lengua just because they never try it correctly. They never done it right, you know, and it could be awful, chewy, gimmicky, gross, you know. But I had I think the best time, like as a chef, one of the best time at the churrascada. So you're feeding thousands and thousands of people. And we cooked 260 beef tongue, and we ran out. We ran out of food like 2 hours earlier, and there were just 3 little pieces of beef tongue. So think about how many people we served. And my best thing as a cook was like the girl, not the boyfriend and girlfriend. No, I don't want it. Then they try it, and then they eat the whole dish. I loved it, you know. Because it's good. Because if you know how to cook it, it's good. And I did trial and error, and you know, a few recipe I twisted here and there. I love taco de lengua. Good question. I love it. Gonna make a T-shirt. We love lengua.
All right. One more question for you here, but I do need to say something that the Hungry Hussy put in the chat.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to ask the question later or not, but yeah. Max looks a lot like Carl the Cuban Ruiz from Guys Grocery Games. Do you see it or not, CJ?
Oh, I see it 100%, for sure.
Yeah. I was like, he put that in the chat, and I'm like, damn.
What is it?
he was a Cuban-born chef that was on Food Network with Guy Fieri, and you two could pass for brothers. I'm going to say that. So he's a good-looking devil, just like you.
Nice.
All right, one final question for you here. Smokin' Joe's Pit BBQ wants to know, what is your culinary education, or are you self-taught, Max?
I like to be ignorant, and I think it's well, I did this school is called the Alma in Colorno in Parma. So the Alma is the most important school of Italy, we could say about that. It's like going to a very good university. My daddy paid for it. I went it. Some people go to university, they pay for it. So the same individual, it can be the next Kennedy or it can be a total moron. To me, the culinary background, it doesn't mean a lot. But it tells you that maybe or maybe not, you know how to do some technique, you know. But nowadays, how many people they go to school, they have all this degree and stuff. So I went to this beta school and I don't regret it. It helped me to speed up the process in learning. So I'm very eager to learn. I was ready. I think I was ready to go to such an important school. So, but basically, yeah, I did the school, which was a year, but I learned more in like 6 months, a year, working in a high-end restaurant in the two Michelin star, Il Duomo in Ragusa Ibla, then, you know, working that's going to school. So that is my cooking background. Now, when you are in the business of cooking, I do, you know, as I showed you, I have a lot of books all over the place and so many files on my computer. What's important for me about knowledge is that I read a book sporadically. So before, you know, I felt bad if I couldn't read one book like this. You know, I couldn't. I said must finish the book. My brain is just worked that way. I read few pages in the most random moment, and it's very common for me to have reading book all over, you know, between brisket, and then I keep this concept in the back of my mind, and sometimes my subconscious mind works, and I just trust my subconscious mind. But I could tell that in the line, when shit hit the fan, maybe apply some technique that I just read 6 months before, you know, and that's, I don't know, that's the way it works for me. So to me, it's not much important the knowledge. It's what we have done in our life and how the experience that we had together with knowledge. If you're humble enough, if you work hard, you can create something, and you understand that. But one guy, actually, they're the most hated guy in the cuisine. There's this guy who come out of the cooking academy. They think they're hot shit. As soon as you have 15 order in line, they shit in their pants, they go cry to daddy and stuff like that, you know. So, and actually had a lot of fun with that. But but that's what it is. Probably if I know, with all the knowledge and the nice conversation that we had, I go now in a restaurant, you threw me in a steakhouse, I don't even know where to begin, because I'm so used now to the barbecue system and not in the line of a restaurant. So we're all ninja of our niche. So to the future generation, I say become a ninja, but not everything, just one thing. Focus on one thing. You do one thing right, you're never going to starve in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
If it was too deep, you know, I get emotional about stuff.
That's all. No,
it's good. All right, I got one more to throw in there, CJ.
Go for it, bro.
All right, Jimmy from Cuff and Stuff wants to know, Max, what was your most difficult cook?
Very good question. Very good question. In terms of, I think for me, I believe the training of Franklin. So the training at Franklin was physically, not much working wise, was physically. So I had always the habit in August to get out of Austin and go in Italy or somewhere colder. So what happened, I started working at Franklin. It was the 9th of the 10th of August, right after they went in vacation. And what was this year was 4 years ago, was hot as shit. And physically, it really was bad. And I was trying to do, a good job. There was this guy, they were like, I don't want to say bully us, but because there was a time that he hired a bunch of people. But, they want to make a point where they were more badass than us, because you can have, back to your question, you can have all the knowledge you have, but then if you don't know how to operate under stress, all the knowledge goes to the garbage. So I really, and I'm not competitive about competition wise, but when I, I put an idea in my mind, say, I got to succeed this is too important. And that was physically very, very tense. It was bad, like physically speaking. Then what happened to me in my career, where I've learned slowly, I'm talking about, I'm been into barbecue more than almost 8 years now. So, but I learned slowly, never put myself in the position to embarrass myself and so forth. So was very careful how to do this and that. I never felt panicked about, oh, wow. And in barbecue, if you do your homework and you know what you're doing, you're not gonna won't hit the fan like it could happen in a normal restaurant, because if you got a few things going on, you get your multiple kind of meats right, it's very hard to fuck it up bad. In a restaurant, it's much easier. There are more just unknown, things that can happen. They can fuck you over basically.
Right on. Gotcha. All right, CJ, I am out for now. So
all right.
Back on you there, big guy.
All right. I'm pretty much ready to wrap it up myself too. So if you guys want to hang out with Max for a little bit after the show, message me and we'll send you the link. One of the questions that I saw pop through is from Mike from BZ Cooks. He said, how do they get a hold of you if they want to take you up on the apartment offer in Italy?
Just call me, shoot me a message on Instagram, Texicana BBQ.
Okay.
Or maybe comment on my YouTube, so help the logarithm.
Comment on YouTube.
The algorithm. No, just shoot me on. I'm very active on more active on Instagram than Facebook, really. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Easy.
All right, cool. I think we're gonna cut this one a little bit. Well, it's not shorter; it's an hour and a half. But I still have a bunch of my boring questions that Kent always says they're too boring. So I'm gonna let this one go. We're gonna end on a high note. What are you flipping it? Why are you flipping your pen? Why are you starting?
Flipping kind of shit.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this one is in the books. Dutch, you want to say anything on the way out?
Max, you did a great job tonight, man. Great answers. Appreciate you coming on. It was good
man,
to
thank you.
meet you. So, keep having fun and keep cooking, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for having me. Thank you, Alton, for, connecting us guys. And that'll be it.
I'll tell you what, man. Max, this is a great community of people that tune into the show every week. And you're going to have a few more subscribers over there, and they're going to watch and they're going to work and all that stuff. But I think a lot of people, you need to actually make sure you're checking out the social media stuff too. Instagram, the Facebook, all that jazz. Be a part of that community with him. I really wanted to get you on because I'd seen you hanging out with Alton. I'd seen Harry Sue's video in the past, all that stuff. So it was actually fortunate we had a cancellation this week, and we were able to get you on really quickly. So I appreciate you jumping on, kind of last minute, but it worked out really well for us.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, everybody in the chat. The couple super shots we got, thank you so much for the donations. Next week's guest is Mike from BZQ. I'll have all that information out for him out next week. Things happening. I may not be in this studio next Thursday. My son will be back in the house, and I use his room as my studio. So I may be hemmed up against the couch and the wall or something like that. But the show will still go on. That's it, guys. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And have a great weekend. All you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. We love you out there. Being a father ain't always easy, but it's damn rewarding. So thank you guys so much.